Alright, it's time for the solutions for the worksheet. What did the teacher do with Ogar's cheese report? So basically what you're doing on each of these is you're just graphing both of the equations and then finding out where they cross. So the lines are going to cross somewhere, and where they cross is your solution. So let's graph this first one here. The number not with x is your y-intercept, so you go right to your y-axis, and you're going to put a point right on there at that number. And then you can use your slope to help you get another point. This is a slope of 3 over 2, so that's a rise of 3 over a run of 2. And so I'm going to go up 3, right 2, and that'll give me my next point that I can use. So I'll put another point there. And once you have 2 points, that's all you need. You can use that to graph your line. Just like that. So there's my first one. And here's my second one that has a y-intercept of 4, because that's the number not with the x. And then that number in front of x, if there's nothing there, is always 1. So that's a slope of -1, which is the same thing as -1 over 1. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to go down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1. And this will give me my line that goes like this. And that'll be my other line, and the point that they cross right there, that's the point 2, 2. And that's the solution, that's the answer. Okay, on 2, this one, our first equation here has a y-intercept of 2, because that's the number not with the x, and it has a slope of 1/3, which is a rise of 1 and then a run of 3. So up 1, right 3 would get me that point, or you can go down 1, left 3, and that'll give me another point. And once you have those points, you can actually graph them together. You just need 2, but I put 3 on there. There's my first line. My next equation is going to start at -3, and it has a slope of -4/3, so I need to go up 4, left 3. It's actually going to be this point right there. So after I have that second point, I can graph my line. It looks like that. It's lovely, except that second one is like bent in the middle. Looks like that. Anyway, these cross right there, and that point there is -3, 1, because from the center, left 3, up 1. That's how you get the coordinates. So there's your answer for that one. On 3, our first one starts out with this number 1. That's not with x, so that's going to be my y-intercept right there. It has a slope of 2, which is the same thing as 2 over 1, so a rise of 2, run of 1. So I can go up 2, right 1 to get another point. And I can keep doing that, or I can go the other way, down 2, left 1, down 2, left 1, down 2, left 1. And there's a lot of the points that are on the this line here. I'm going to put an arrow there because I'm going to need a little bit of space here. So this one is not solved for y. You're going to have to solve for y first in order to get your in order to be able to graph it like we have been. So add 2x to both sides. You'll get 3y equals 2x minus 9. Now you just have to divide everything by 3. You'll get y equals, well, 2x divided by 3 is just going to give you 2 over 3x, or 2/3 x. And then -9 divided by 3 is just -3. So here's my second one. It has a y-intercept of -3 because that's a number not with x. It has a slope of 2/3. That means you can go up 2, right 3, and that'll give you another point. Or you can go down 2, left 3, which is going to give you another point, which is right there. There's our points. Draw your line, graph it, and this point right here where they cross is our solution. And that's the point -3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -5. So now I got my other point, and it's just like that. Let's move over to number 4. In order to graph either of these, we have to solve for y. This one's pretty quick. You just subtract 3x's from both sides. You'll get y equal to just -3x. So there's my first one. The second one, I'm going to just do this one by putting the y on the right side. So now I'm looking at x equals, I'm going to do x equals 4 plus y. I can get rid of the 4 by subtracting 4 on both sides. Now I'm looking at x minus 4 equals y. So now I have my two equations. Let's graph the top one. Notice how it doesn't have a number that's not with the x over here. That's because that number is going to be 0, because adding 0 is the same thing as having nothing there. So that one has a y-intercept of 0, but it has a slope right there of negative 3. Well, that's the same thing as negative 3 over 1, which is up 3, right 1, and that'll give me another point. And you can go down 3, left 1, as well, to get another point. And once you have these points, you can start graphing your equation like so. Draw your line, and there's our first line. Let's graph the second one. That has a y-intercept of negative 4. Alright, the number not with the x. And it has a slope of 1, which is, there's no number there in front of the x. And so, hold on one second. Oh, you know what? I totally messed up on my line here. So this, the first equation has a slope of negative 3, which means I have to go down 3, right 1. So that's my bad, I'm sorry. So this would be a point, or you can go up 3, left 1. There, that looks a lot better. There we go. Sorry for my mistake. But I caught it instead of just keeping it on video, which would have been bad. Alright, so there's my first line. We're now going to graph my second one. Again, it has a y-intercept of negative 4. And that number in front of x, which tells us our slope, is 1, because there's nothing there. Which is right 1, up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1, up 1. And that'll give me all the points there on my line. And you just have that. And where our two lines cross is our solution, which is the point 1, negative 3. So there's the first 4 on our assignment.